Kelly Soroka Life. And today it is almost summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. And it is a time when many people are traveling, especially if you have kids that are out of school, or you are out of school on break, or you have summer vacation from your job or whatever reason. Many people travel during this time. You may be traveling to go to a wedding, or you may be traveling for a reunion, or something for a vacation, something that you may be traveling. And some of us are going on really big trips, and some of us might be going on very small trips. But whatever that may be, we are all going, and many of us want to take our witchcraft with us. And it's sometimes not an easy thing to do if you're not a person who shares that part of your life with other people. Then you may not have your all of your crystals in your pockets, and want and people to know that you're traveling with the crystals or herbs or whatever it is. So that might be the case. Or you might be traveling to a place and where you have to, if it's on an airline, then your luggage is checked. And so sometimes there may be things that we use in our everyday practice that is just not something that we can easily take to another place. So I wanted to show you two ways that you can make a travel altar. And this is one is one that you can make, that you can actually put things in that you can use wherever you are, and you can kind of trade out what's in there depending on where you're going to be, because going and staying in a hotel in a huge high-rise hotel in the middle of a big city is very different than staying in an Airbnb out in the country, in the mountains somewhere. So there's different ways that when we're traveling, and knowing where you're going and how you're going to get there, and knowing your own practice and things that you might want to set aside or look for, or kind of collect, maybe around your house or out as you're out and about before you're going on your trip, so that you can bring the witchcraft with you. And you can do it in a way that if you want to share it with other people that are around you, you can. If it's not something that you want to share, then it can be something that you keep private to yourself. So there's the first way that I'm going to show you, and this is, you can find these. This I've just repurposed an Altoids tin because, well, just repurposing and reusing. And I've cleaned it out, washed it out, because this is the cinnamon. And it still smells like cinnamon, but that's not a bad thing, because you can use that cinnamon protection as you travel. So it's not totally a bad thing. Unless you don't like cinnamon, then don't use it. But if you use something like this, you can always get some other kind of little tin case like this for whatever you're using. But this is what I happen to have. So, and you could, if you wanted to, paint the whole thing. You could spray paint it, a different color if you wanted to. You could do lots of different things. I've just taken washi tape, and so this is my washi tape, and you can find washi tape in craft stores and the scrapbooking supplies, and lots of places, and it's very easy to find, and it's usually pretty inexpensive. And so you can find a couple of rolls of washi tape and something that you like. I just happened to have this moon washi tape, so I just covered the bottom of it and gave it a little moon look. And so, and I use that just as my basis for this travel altar. And so it's very easy to put all the stuff that I want to put in it in here, close it up, and, secure it with something. You could put it, in if you have like a muslin bag, and we're going to talk about those later and do something else. But if you wanted something to put this in, you could always put it in a bag or secure it, with something that is going to keep it, safe and secure wherever it is. Or, if it's something that you're taking and you're just using for yourself to bring some things along, then you can, put it, secure it with something and put it in the bottom of a backpack or a bag or a purse or whatever, whatever you're using, or just put it somewhere in your suitcase that it's just going to stay there the whole time. But if you want to, but this is one that you can use. And if you want to have something that has some, some kind of miniature tools in it that you can use wherever you are, then I'm going to show you some things that you can put in this little tin. And so then it can be, a truly a traveling altar that you can set up somewhere and, do practices in. So the first thing I have done is taken this little tea light, and I just warmed up the top of it enough so that it was a little bit sticky. And I pressed, this is dried mullein, and mullein is a very protective herb. And so you can put whatever herb that you like in here. If you want something that has more scent to it, maybe you want you're going to be in a place where you could actually, burn the candle, then you might want to put something in like lavender or rose or jasmine or something like that has that you like the smell of. But this one I wanted just as kind of a protective herb. So I've done that, and I just kind of squished it down in there and just held it down so that it's nice and secure in there. And so that's the first thing I put in there. And so I wanted some some matches. And so if I'm somewhere that I want to actually light the candle, so I have these little small matches that I'm going to put in here. And I also put one of the strips that you can get, like if you buy matches in packs, I do, then they'll send you these little strips that you can use to light your match. So I've just put one of those in here. You could also find, little small packs of matches that you could put in there that would have the lighting strip on it. You could also get something that's more like a pack of matches that, the little fold over type. You could put that in here as well. And a lot of them have incense with them. So you can light the match and it has, a certain incense with it. So you can look and see, what kinds of things you like. But this is just what I happen to have here. So that's what's going on in mine. So then I also have a small bottle of essential oil, and this is bay. And bay leaves are, again, very protective and very magical. So this, if you like this scent, you can use this, and you can add it to the candle. You can, since it's an essential oil, you might want to put it on, you want to dilute it. You don't want to, ever actually put it, straight on your skin. So you can use this and maybe use it on, a Kleenex or, something like that you could dilute the oil on and then have it, wherever, so that you can dispose of it easily. And only a drop or two that you will need. You could also make, if you have some little bottles like this, you could repurpose a small bottle and put, a few drops of the essential oil, and then put it in with a carrier oil like olive oil or jojoba oil, or something that you like to use, or even coconut oil, and put it and put that together so that you have an oil that an essential oil that's actually diluted. But I just have this little kind of mini bottle of essential oil, so I put it in here, and since I have the candle, I could just drop it on the candle and use it that way. So then the next thing I have, and I like to put things in specific numbers. So I have 6 matches, which is 3 and 3, and then I have 3 crystals. So this is a black kyanite. This is a clear quartz. And this is a tiger's eye. All very protective stones, and they're just little bitty stones that I just have picked up in various places. And you can look and see what crystals you might have, that you might have just one that you really want to take with you, or you might have a few like this, or 3 of one kind that you like, or whatever your number is that you want to use. You can do that as well, but these are definitely 3 crystals that are protective. And so I'm going to put those in there as well. So I have 3 little charms, which I thought would be fun. And I could just put them out, wherever I am. This is an elephant that's going to help me get to where I'm going. And it might be slow, but it's slow and steady, and I will get there. And this, if you're flying somewhere, you might want to put some wings. And this I just thought was cute. This is a little peace sign, and just to have peace on vacation and while you travel. And then the last thing I have, and this is an orange calcite pendulum, and it's really pretty. It's kind of got this decorative end on it, so it's something that you can use, and something that is practical, so, and very magical. And people usually don't look at pendulums. They usually don't look at pendulums and say, "Ooh, that's something magical I'm not so sure about." It's usually something that is fairly common. So those are the things that are going in here, and I'll show you. Oh, and I also made my own protection rune. So I wrote out the word protection, crossed out the double letters and the vowels, and used the remaining letters to make a very simple protection sigil. And I just wrote that in here with a Sharpie marker. So that is all, my intention of safe travel and being protected in travel, and getting successfully where I want to go. So I'll show you how all this kind of fits in. And if you have these, I know these little gauzy bags, a lot of times we get in for different things. Maybe we get them in a gift, or something that we bought comes in that. And you can save these and use them and wrap all of your stuff up in here if you want, and I'll show you that too. But if you have these, and you have these around your house, or you see them, save them, because you can always use them for something else. So I'll first show you how everything kind of goes in here. So here is, so here's my finished travel altar. And so it just closes up, and then I can secure it with something around the outside, to make sure that it stays safe. Or you could put it in a bag like this, and we're going to use this again later, but you could put it in a drawstring bag like this so that it all stays together. And you can also put everything in. Hello, Blackberry. Are you going to be in the video? Yes, thank you. Thank you for saying hello. Oh. But you can put the things in here. I put the matches first, and then crystals. All the little pieces are kind of in there, and then just put thing else in here. And then you have your little bag that's in here like so. So lots of different ways that you can do this, and you can put, the great thing about this is you can do it however you want to do it. I mean, how you can put it together in any way that you want to put it together, and put the things that you have that are special to you, and take it with you. Make your own rune, anything that you want to do, but it's in this handy little case here. And it's a great way to bring that little bit of witchcraft with us, because I know when I travel, a lot of times I just kind of get busy in whatever I'm doing, or whatever I'm there for. And it's very easy to kind of put aside that our witchiness. And even if it's something that you want to do, maybe you have a special tea and you want to bring your special tea and make that for yourself in the morning. And so it's something that you do for yourself that has that intention in it. And that's something that you could definitely put in in a bag like this, special tea or tea blend, or some herbs that you like to make into tea. And it's an easy way to do something magical when you are traveling or on vacation and you want to bring your witchiness with you. So so instead of using this as to put all of the rest of our stuff in, we're going to use this as something we're going to put things in. And it's a travel altar, but it's more of kind of a travel bag that we're going to put things in it. And we're not necessarily going to use it like the things in the travel altar and the tin, but we're going to have things in here that in this we can just tie up and put in a suitcase, put in a bag, put in a purse. And you can even use smaller ones if you wanted to, like something like this small. And it's even easier to use and fill up and take with you. But for this bag, and this is just like one of the muslin drawstring bags, and you can get these, again, pretty cheaply. And it's something that is, kind of it's very easy to put things in and put it in, in the bottom of your suitcase or the bottom of your backpack or in your purse, or something that is, it's unobtrusive. And, you can draw on the outside if you want to put something, a symbol that you want other people to see, you don't, leave it blank and you put all of your stuff inside. So what I'm going to put in here first, this is a mix of mullein, because mullein is in our candle. So mullein, mugwort, and linden. And so these are dried herbs here, and I've just put them all together. And I'm going to put them right down in the bottom of the bag so that they're in there and they kind of infuse all the things that are in there, because this is not something we're going to close this up. We're going to put our intention in it, close it up, and use it to travel with. And then when you're done, you can recycle the herbs and anything in here and because the herbs are something that you can and just kind of give back to the earth, you can do that and then reuse the bag for something else. But we're going to put our travel things in here. So we're going to put in, I used a cinnamon Altoids tin. And so I thought that would be a good thing to put in here. So I have 3 cinnamon sticks that I'm going to put in here, because cinnamon is, that kind of, sometimes we need some energy, and maybe we're traveling and it's a really long flight, or it's a really long car ride, or it's something that we're doing that is we're maybe seeing people that are challenging, and so this cinnamon is there to give you that that kind of pick me up. So I put that in there. So I've got my 3 herbs, I've got 3 cinnamon sticks, I've got 3 more little charms that I'm going to use in this bag. And this one's going to be different. So this one is a clover for luck, an owl for wisdom, and a star for guiding us wherever we need to go and back home again. And then I have 3 more crystals that are, and because, we're putting this in with our herbs, so you can just, when you're done, take the crystals out, give them a good wipe off, and they're ready to be used for something else. But for this one, I have a red jasper, a smoky quartz, and a black moonstone. So all of these, again, very protective ones that I like to choose when I am traveling. So this is our bag. We've got the herbs, the crystals, the charms, and I've got our cinnamon sticks in here. And then for the last couple of things, this is a a card that says discovery, but I'm pretty sure that it was an extra card in a tarot deck, and I think it is the Heartwood Tarot deck, and I'll make sure I leave the deck that it came from so that you can find it if you like it. But it's really cute and has the word discovery on it. And the reason that I'm pretty sure that it's from a tarot deck is that if it were from a tarot deck, then it's an extra one that I had taken out and put in a separate place from the tarot deck, and I've just kept to use for things like this. And so when I have extra cards, and a lot of times cards will have oh, my candle's tripping. Sometimes tarot decks will have extra cards in them. Sometimes independent decks will have the author's cards in them, something like that, or an extra card, or a card of, another deck that's coming out. And so I just usually take those out and put them in a separate place, and to use them for things like this. To use them to put in scrapbooks, to use them to put in my book of shadows, to use them for spells, just so many different things that you can use these extra cards for. So I'm pretty sure that that's what this is from, but I'm going to use it because I like it. It's got a star on it that is like our charm that we have. And it says discovery. And a lot of times when we are going on vacation, we are going to discover something. So I'm going to put that card in here. And then the last thing I'm going to put is this is the same protection sigil. No, this one's hard to see because it's in kind of a green ink. But this is the same protection sigil that I drew on my travel tin. So I just put it on a Post-it note so that I can put it on, just going to stick it to the back of this card. So that it's there. So I have my card with discovery, but also being protected. And then slide it in to my bag. And there it is. And this is all, again, things that I've used around my house, things that I found here. And you just think about it and look around. And if you would like to do something like this, look around and see what kinds of things that you have available that you can use for, for a travel bag or a travel altar. And you will be surprised the things that will come up, and that you will think this is something that I would never think of, but it is perfect for this occasion. It's perfect for this trip. It's perfect for what I am going to do, because that's what magic is all about. And that is the great thing about witchcraft, is about adapting it to your needs and the things that you like to do in your specific practice. And so, whatever kind of witchcraft you practice, or whatever spiritual path you're on, you can find things that are meaningful to you, and find things that are bring that witchcraft with you wherever you go, and however you travel, and whatever you do on your trip. And it can be there when you get home. So you bring this, and you bring your bag home with you, and it's got all of those intentions. It's got all of those things that you did, all the good times that you had, and maybe some, not so good times that you had, but it's all in here, and it's got all those memories in here. And again, it's all the things that are in here are things that can be, reused and repurposed and used again for the next time that you want to do any kind of witchcraft. So if you are traveling, and even if you're, just going somewhere new for, a day trip, whatever it is that you are doing and traveling, you might be going to the, next town over, for a graduation, or you might be, going to a wedding, or you might be going to um, a class reunion, or something, and it might not be somewhere that you go normally, but it's somewhere that you're traveling to, and it's somewhere that you don't necessarily go to on a daily basis, and that counts as travel too. So, and this is also something, if you did this kind of protection bag, you could also put it in your car, in your vehicle, wherever you travel, and you could have this and put it, hang it from, if you want to hang it, you can hang it from, a, the rear mirror or something like that, especially if you do a small one. Or you could put it in the glove compartment. You can put it, somewhere under the seat where nobody can see it. But it's there with you as you travel. And especially if you do a lot of commuting, and or do a lot of driving, do whatever for whatever reason, then you can, this is, these little bags are great for that, because you can, put it in there, you can use it and use it for a season, and then take it out, and then maybe put new things in it, offer the herbs to the earth, and make a new protection rune, and whatever you want to do. And you could also add some, I didn't do it for this one, but you could add some essential oil to this, maybe put a drop or two on the outside of the bag, and to infuse it, with your oil. You could also do that with the piece of paper that the rune is on. You could also drop some oil on that and let it dry and put it in there. And so that gets that oil that you like to work with, and that energy into your travel bag. All right, so that's it. I'll leave all the information down below. And if you have any questions, anything that you have questions about, just let me know, and put a comment down below, and so I'll know to what you want or need, or have questions about. And I hope that you have some happy traveling, whatever. And this, again, it doesn't have to be in the summer, but I just wanted to do it in the summer because a lot of people do travel at this time. But it could be, some other time that you're traveling. Maybe you're traveling over the upcoming holidays in, Thanksgiving or Christmas, and so you might be traveling then, and you could do it, and you could put some different things in it because of the time of year it is. So again, witchcraft is it's very adaptable. It just reflects your intention. So make sure that it is reflecting your intention, and that will make all the difference. All right, that's it. I will see you again in the next video. Bye.